Okay, I was only going to make the one video today, and it was the Am I the Asshole? Uh, we're going to do one that's real quick, real short. I am, you know how when a person gets to a certain age, they either become a master of the grill or they become like a history buff or, the thing. Well, um, when I was in my 20s, right after Jamie and I got married, it was it became important to me to become a I needed to know how to grill, how to cook with fire, and to the point where my prowess, once I became famous for being in a commercial, I was a local celebrity VIP guest judge at the local. It was at the first annual Don't Be Cruel barbecue duel that they do here in town. But my wife and I were just talking about there's a new Mediterranean grill. They do shawarma and a couple other things. Kind of hit a taste bud. I like it. But anyway, she was going over some of the menu, and they got to grape leaves stuffed, whatever. I cannot stand the taste of grape leaves. I've never had anything, stuffed grape leaves that made me want to do anything other than vomit. However, that does not mean that grape leaves are useless. In fact, I am the only person in existence that I've ever heard of use this technique. Seeing as I am literally on my deathbed, I think it's time to share one of my secrets. So I'm going to give you a secret to a steak recipe. It's kind of a generic. You can build it however you want, but I'm going to tell you the secret to making it go from an 8 to a 10. It's kind of hard to come by the ingredients a little bit, but the most important ingredient that is hard to come by is grape leaves in brine. It's in a jar. Usually, what would that be in the Greek area? Usually somewhere around the olives. Kroger doesn't carry it anymore. It's rare that I find it, but grape leaves in the juice. Usually it's like a brine. Tastes absolutely disgusting. But anyway, what you're going to want to do is take a shot of Southern Comfort. It's the only way that liquid is worth the bottle it comes in. I'm not a fan of Southern Comfort, but you take one shot and you pour half of it on one side of the steak, half of it on the other. You salt it real good. And I'm talking about salt the ever-loving piss out of it, both sides. It's going to draw all the moisture of the steak out of the steak. It's going to mix with that Southern Comfort, and it's going to drive it down into the center of the steak. I call that, I know that there's a process. I call it the law of high and low density liquids. The salt brings the liquid to the lowest concentration of liquid, that being the salt. It's going to mix with that brine, with that Southern Comfort. Now the inside of the steak is the dry part of the steak, and it's going to pull that into the center. Then you're going to want to season it really, really, really well. Doesn't matter, your favorite seasoning, whatever it is, crust it. Season it until your ancestors say, seriously, to hell. If you're white, ask your superiorly melanated friends what that voice sounds like. They'll help you out. But anyway, then what you're going to want to do is when you're getting ready to put that steak on the grill, this is where the grape leaves come in. Pull some out of that jar, use some scissors or whatever, cut off a good little chunk, and place it just close enough to the fire that it's not going to immediately catch on fire, but it's going to dry up and then catch on fire as the cooking is going. The smoke of that grape leaves is going to marinate into and smoke that meat only for a few minutes. That's all it really takes, but it will take your steak experience to a whole new level, to a whole new experience. You need to try it at least one time. It will change your view on cooking outside with steaks. It is a easy, basic introduction to the most primitive, basic of smoking techniques. You can also take some of your seasoning that you're using on the steak and you can sprinkle that around the fire as well. That will burn, that will give smoke, it will add some smoke flavor. That is where I would say, if you're on your smoking journey, that's where you start. So I learned a lot about smoking. In my experience as that VIP judge, I realized that people were getting paid. People were making money. People were getting notoriety for smoked meat that I would put out on my worst days. Because it was little steps like that. So there you go. You just, this was primarily made for my kids, but I can guarantee you, if you are a seasoned smoker and have not thought of doing this, do it. If it is your first time really learning how to cook with fire, it's an easy, simple way to get just a little bit in there to start experimenting, start thinking outside the box, start on your journey. But the key is, life is short. Get started now. Get that journey going. And it all started because there's a new shawarma place in town, Mediterranean, and we were kind of thinking about maybe doing that for dinner. So I encourage you, give it a shot. If you ever see that jar of grape leaves and go, I don't know why I would use it, I can't stand grape leaves, whatever, because I get it, they're nasty. Try this. Give it a shot. If you do, come on back, tell me what you think. If you've done it, come on back, tell me what you think. If you've tried something that's similar, we're all here to learn. Let me know what you got. I may be on my deathbed, but I've taught my wife a lot, most of what I know. Maybe she can benefit from it as well. So get on here, let me know. And look at this, I didn't even do a full 10-minute video. Have a good one.